BVI House. I am Sandra Besson as Deputy Director of the BVI Government's London office. And it is indeed my pleasure on behalf of the Director to welcome you all. We trust that you'll find this evening's proceedings enlightening and thought-provoking.
At the moment, regardless of where you live in the world, we are confronted with a high degree of political and economic unpredictability. The point of these meetings that Affinity, Legacy Planning and CaribDirect have come together to put on are twofold. To first of all, assist the African Caribbean diaspora community to protect their assets and wealth through a range of financial and legal instruments which will ultimately help the children of our respective communities to withstand some of the risks of the uncertain world we face. And secondly, or lastly, to ensure that the Caribbean diaspora's ability to support economic initiatives geared toward the social and humanitarian development of the Caribbean.
Why is generational wealth planning so important for our community? When you look at the legal system, first common mistake that people make is they'll go to a high street solicitor to prepare a will. Sometimes they won't even do that. They'll get a will from W.H. Smith, or they'll get a free will when they sign up to an insurance of some kind. Okay. And the legal parameters, the guidance around the legal parameters have not been provided, hence the problems. The reason why it starts with preparing a will, it's the legal declaration you make as to what assets you have and who you want them to go to, and who you want to be the executors or the trustees to take care of those assets when you pass away. So it lays the foundation to formulate the trust structure, which I'll come to later. But it's very important, the point I made earlier, that it's important that you use the right type of organizations, the right type of specialists when it comes to addressing these matters, because it represents everything you've worked for your whole life. Everything you've worked for up until today is dealt with in these very important legal documents. The sacrifices, yes, the sleepless nights, the blood, the sweat, the tears. So it's important that we address these matters and we address them properly.
Are you considering how you can advise organisations with assets, how to sustain them over generations in a similar way to individuals?
It's very important with these things to keep your mind on what you're protecting, not what you're investing. And it's not an expense on your part, it's an investment in your part to protect.
With our community, the Caribbean community, there is particularly the Windwash generation, there was an expectation to go back to the Caribbean. And what we see is that people dispose of their asset to acquire the 7-bedroom villa back in the Caribbean. And then old age set in, illness set in, and then they come back to the UK to access healthcare. And it seems to me that needs some sort of supporting strategy to facilitate enjoying the benefits of both countries, but not losing out on terms of the healthcare provision, which becomes necessary as old age begins to creep in.
It's a difficult problem to address because there's also the moral dilemma as well. There's a point of view, well, and I've had many debates with people about this, well, you need the care, you pay for it.
What you've experienced here today is not the be-all and end-all of what we intend to speak about going forward. So, of course you can send in your comments, send in your suggestions, and we will add it to future events so that at least we can meet the needs of the community. And it's a great point, and I thank you for that. I'd like to thank Sean for taking the time to impart quite a lot of information here this evening. Now we are closing, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the BVI Government House and their staff for allowing this event to go ahead. But what I'd like to do as a wrap-up is to introduce a family member, Amanda Rooney, who will do the vote of thanks, and I'm sure she will do it justice on our behalf.
I think we should also congratulate each other, because by us being here this evening, we're showing we are very serious about our future. We're very serious about our children. We're very passionate that the Caribbean is not left in a way
that when we came aware of it, we want to enhance and enrich the Caribbean. So I thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules, even bringing the baby. I think that's just beautiful. Because it shows commitment, it shows dedication, and it shows passion.
It was quite good, very informative. There was a lot of points that was brought up to me that I didn't realise. I'm very fortunate to come from a family who are very proactive in investments, insurance, wills, etc. But there's always, not everybody knows everything. And I think there was a few points here that I could bring home, especially to like my mum, being an only child and owning my own business, that we can sit down and have a conversation about, and maybe there might be things that she might not know that I could interest her in.